Tony Docherty got his marching orders at Dundee, but who is Gordon Strachan going to march in as the brand new manager? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Well, today we're going to have a look at the Dundee managerial odds. We're going to look at the updated odds here and see who's in pole position, see who is most likely to be the manager at Dens Park for the upcoming 2025-2026 season. Big season, in my opinion, ahead. Coming up for Dundee. You know, they've had 2 years now in the Premiership. That was 2 years under Tony Docherty, where I think they actually performed all right. I think it was harsh that he lost his job. However, a lot of the players that they've had over those 2 seasons will be gone by next season. They've already lost McCowan. They're losing Lyle Cameron. They've got a lot of key players out of contract in the summer. I'm not convinced that they'll keep them all. I think with the new manager coming in, and the fact that there's going to be a lot of turnaround in players, this could be a very new-looking Dundee team. It could be a team that excels, it could be a team that does well, or it could be a team that finds themselves in trouble and in a relegation battle. Hard to predict. I think Dundee, one of the most unpredictable teams next season in the league.
They will be finishing 10th. 2 teams newly promoted in Falkirk and Livy. They'll be looking, obviously, to steer clear of them. As for Tony Docherty, it was harsh, but I think whoever comes in, whether it's Maloney or whoever, they've got to do a good job, because if Tony Docherty gets sacked for finishing 10th after finishing 6th, the year before, I don't think a mediocre year finishing 10th or 11th, that might not be enough to keep you in the job. And that, I think whoever's getting appointed is going to have to be made aware of that. They're going to have to hit the ground running. And I mean, where do we expect Dundee to finish?
See when Tony Docherty got the job, I'm pretty sure if he turned around and says to the club, if I finish 6th and 10th, will you be happy? I'm pretty sure they would have said yes. Now, you can obviously say that the problem is they finished 6th and then 10th, and there's a decline there, whereas perhaps if they'd finished 10th in their first season back and then finished 6th, well, I think it's fair to say that he certainly would still be in a job. But here, if he only finished 10th in his first season, would they consider that a sackable offence? I don't know, but I mean, you have to wonder, is Tony Docherty maybe affecting his own success? If he did not finish 6th in the first season, would he have got sacked? Would he have been better off finishing maybe 9th or 8th in his first season and then finishing 10th? Or are Dundee just a bit more ambitious than we think they are, and do they want to be a top 6 team going forward?
I credit it as a bit ambitious, but the problem is, it's like, well, how high are you aiming? I mean, where should Dundee finish in this Premiership table? Honestly, I think between like 8th and 10th is probably Dundee's level until they get like a consistent basis of finishing higher than that. Yeah, they finished 6th, but I think there's only one reason why he's been sacked, and Stephen Mills said it, and Ewan Cameron clicked on as soon as he said it. I think it's Dundee United. I think Dundee United get coming up and finishing 4th.
I don't think that's right, though.
Well, we can debate whether it's right, but I think that's what's happened.
I don't think you can sack a manager based off the success of the club across the city or down the road. That doesn't really. I mean, that doesn't really make much sense to me,
especially in Dundee. I mean, I think other cities maybe but I mean, come on. It's like Dundee United traditionally are the bigger club, bigger finances. I mean, it's a great season for Goodwin. I'm not going to sit here and dispute that. But I think Dundee has been unlucky last season. We'll call it last season since the cup finals just happened. Injuries galore. Some really good performances against the Old Firm. I think the problem is just conceding too many goals. How many times were Dundee lining up with, the back four of Dundee's three kids making their debut, or this is their first competitive start, shit like that. That's going to affect it. I think Tony Docherty should have been given one more season, but if Dundee next season finish 7th or in the top 6 with a new manager and a new look, gonna have to say it was justified getting rid of him.
I don't think they will.
No, I don't think they will.
It's very early. I need to see the summer. I need to see the transfer window. I need to see how Dundee do. I need to see how the other teams do. I need to see who Dundee bring in. But I mean, at this moment in time, I would heavily back Dundee to finish in the bottom half of the table next season.
Correct.
I would say, I actually think they're more likely to be in a relegation battle than be in a battle for the top 6. So that's my predictions on Dundee.
Yeah, Simon Murray, right, will A, probably leave, or B, won't score as many goals next season as he did this season. And that's going to cost him big time. I see the link with Jordan Rhodes. I mean, when was the last time Jordan Rhodes was relevant? about a decade ago. I mean, what age is Jordan Rhodes? He must be
Yeah, I think
near.
he's 34, 35. So, just a guy that, let's be honest, he never really got called up to the Scotland team when he was
His rise to fame is at one point he was the most accumulated Scotland player ever.
transfer. But I mean
And I
that's
never got it. I never got why this guy was going for big bucks. He was never that good.
someone rated him, but no Scotland manager ever rated him. He could barely get a game for us. So anyway, and we've always been struggling for a striker. So I don't know, man.
I mean, Livingston and Falkirk, right? If they had to pick a team that they think they'd finish above, apart from each other, I think they'd pick Dundee.
Yeah, and plus, you know what? Last season was very close. There wasn't much in it. We're talking like a win or two, and Dundee could have finished 8th.
Yep.
There really wasn't much between Dundee and Kilmarnock and Motherwell. You know what? I do think it was harsh what happened to Tony Docherty. Anyway, Shaun Maloney, odds-on favourite. He is 45 to be the next manager of Dundee, already managed in Scotland. Had that stint as Hibernian boss where he was there for 19 games from December 2021 to April 2022. He had a 31.6% win record, 6 wins, 6 draws, 7 defeats. You know what? That's not great, but at the same time, I don't think it was horrible. He just happened to be at Hibernian during that period where they were kind of firing through managers. Did he get enough time at Hibs? Probably not. But they're in a better place right now, so they won't care. And then Wigan, he had 115 games under his belt, so a decent run there. 42 wins, 33 draws, 40 defeats, a 36.5% win record for Wigan. It's it's not bad, but it doesn't strike me as impressive either. I'm looking at Maloney's 2 stints as a manager. Doesn't blow me away.
Yeah, it's like, why is he linked to the Dundee? It's like, was this?
Well, it would be the worst out of the 3 teams.
No, it would be, but it begs the question. It's like, why would you get rid of Tony Docherty and bring in Shaun Maloney? It's not quite like these numbers here don't really, they don't really show a guy that's going to come in and hit the ground running to me.
Is it the style of football? Do they think that maybe Maloney can build something going forward? We know that Maloney and Gordon Strachan have got a close connection, so
well, that could be it.
I mean, it could be that. I wonder if Gordon Strachan's ever considered having one last run as a manager himself. He's getting up there in age. If he's going to have another club, you think now would probably be the time to do it.
He's not that old though.
He's 65, isn't he?
Aye.
But I wonder if Gordon Strachan would consider himself for the hot seat.
Maybe he can control the manager. Maybe that's what he's aiming to do.
Well, maybe he couldn't control Tony Docherty.
Well, maybe Tony Docherty was a beast he couldn't control. But you know what? I think Shaun Maloney. There's a reason he's 45, man. The bookies don't really lie.
Aye, well, with Steven Gerrard no odds on weeks ago, and he's not been announced yet.
But Gerrard is always going to be there.
Aye, well, apparently, right, whatever. I mean, I think we've seen the odds that they don't really mean much, do they? With managerial odds, things can change very quickly.
No, they can, but I do believe the people that are close to being favourite or the favourite have always got a chance. You're never going to go from like 100 to 1 to favourite. Unless you're like a complete unknown that's been won in, like a David Angelotti, which we're not talking about that today, but Shaun Maloney, 45.
Right, Charlie Adam, 5 to 1. He's second favourite to get the job. Obviously played for Dundee. Had a decent wee career. Decent career. I mean, 2 seasons. He done all right though. I mean, he was pretty much past it when he played for Dundee, but still contributed. Scored a couple of goals. But yeah, he was probably gone by that stage. His legs weren't working. He's had a run as the Fleetwood Town manager. Lasted a year there. 49 games played, 14 wins, 16 draws, 19 defeats. So a win percentage of 28.57. Again, not impressive and sad to say, but it would appear that if he does take the Dundee job, he's probably taking a step back. I don't want to say Dundee's a step down on Fleetwood Town, but it's not like Dundee would be appointing Adam off the back of success. He got sacked by Fleetwood Town.
Yeah, we've seen Scott Brown get sacked for Fleetwood Town, and then he ended up at Ayr, and apparently he's on the short list. So, but you're right. It's like
none of these managers so far are up and coming. They're on a downward trajectory.
Aye. I mean, But see with Charlie, it doesn't strike me. See Shaun Maloney, right? He strikes me as the guy that's got, good knowledge and can actually be a successful manager. I mean, Charlie Adam, no offence to the guy, but it doesn't seem like there's much floating about his brain.
Right, third favourite, got John Kennedy, the Celtic, I don't know, what's he, the number 2, number 3?
What a managerial stint he had.
Yeah, now he had 10 games in charge as the caretaker back in February 2021. That was a pretty good campaign, that one.
That was fantastic for me.
He had 10 games, 4 wins, 4 draws, 2 defeats, 17 goals scored, 8 against, plus 9 goal difference, and a 40% win record. We're talking Barry Ferguson kind of numbers here, aren't we? 40%. It's not good enough for Celtic.
Nowhere near good enough for Celtic. Was it considered a steadying of the ship when he did that?
Not too sure, but he's always considered to be an important person behind the scenes, isn't he?
He's just there because of who he is. You know what I mean? He's got a is
he the man that Dundee want to bring in? I'm not convinced, and I don't think he'll leave what he's got at Celtic.
Yeah, but is he like a Michael Beale? Is he the brains behind Title 55, Title 54, Title 53, Title 52? What is he? I mean, honestly, it's like, see when the going gets tough at Celtic, John Kennedy seems to be low-hanging fruit. He gets bashed.
Yeah, Darren O'Day is the fourth favourite. He is 10-1. A former Celtic player and Dundee player, so he's obviously played in Scotland before, but hasn't really done anything as a manager. He's had like a bit of a coaching career, but no managerial experience. So I just don't see why he would be considered. Oh, he used to play for Dundee. Big wow! It's not like he's a Dundee legend.
Yeah,
I mean, 4 seasons at the club, and he was a decent player for them. But I mean, it's.
That's no, but
that's the fact that he's fourth favourite for the job.
The more I look at this, it's like, why did they sack Tony Docherty? I said at the time, it's like, you know what, if they sacked him, fair enough, ambitious, but you have to have someone lined up. Look at Hee Haw lined up.
Yeah, and the man fifth in the odds is David Healy. He's also 10-1. He is the current Linfield manager. He's been Linfield manager for almost a full decade now. He's got a 63.64 win ratio with Linfield, plus 560 goal difference, 315 wins out of 495 games. He did well. He got them into the Conference League, didn't he? No, that wasn't even them. It was Larne. It was Larne. That season, he should have got them into the Conference League, though.
RFS.
They bottled that. They should have really won that. Obviously, he was a good player during his national time for Northern Ireland. Had a stint at Rangers as well.
Say what you want, right? We can bury leagues, right? Our league gets buried and Northern Irish League gets buried, right? This guy's won league titles. To me, he's the most qualified.
The only thing I would say about him is, you talked about the others are like a downward trajectory. At least this guy would be making a move in the right direction.
Aye.
This is a guy that this is an up and coming guy, a guy that's moving upwards. Everyone else is moving downwards. Everyone else is either they've either got no real experience managing, or they've been sacked from clubs and are having to take a step down. This guy would actually be taking a step up. So he's the only guy that's not coming off a failure. So I'm looking at the options. I think it is between Shaun Maloney and David Healy. That would be, out of these 5, that would certainly be my picks.
I would go with David Healy, but he's a Linfield man. You know what I mean? He's been there a decade, won trophies, a lot of trophies. Is Dundee enough to persuade him to leave? I'm not convinced. That I remember seeing it in the news a couple of weeks ago that he was on the short list or whatever. But would he leave Linfield for Dundee? Is that enough of an upgrade for David Healy? I think the problem is, I just don't see much bigger clubs than Dundee coming in for him. So he's going to have to take the jump at one point.
Aye. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts down below. That's the 5 top candidates. So, I'm just not really seeing, why Tony Docherty got sacked. There's not like a million great candidates lining up here to replace him. So, interesting. Speaking of Tony Docherty, he could be going to Motherwell, and if he gets the Motherwell job, then he'll probably consider that actually no bad.
It's just musical chairs, Kettlewell to Kelly, McKinns to fucking Hearts. You've got Tony Docherty might go into Motherwell.
It's the same recycled shite, isn't it?
Is it not? It is though. I mean, at least with Derek McInnes, it's a clear forward step. I don't think going from Dundee to Motherwell or going from Motherwell to Kelly. It's weird, but I guess it's just weird, honestly.
It's weird. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace.